Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Wanderbot Plays Shank. I'm going to be slaying many a people in this episode today. Most of them will have a handlebar mustache and a beret because this game does not have enough character models, but I really don't care. It's still fun. I've never really noticed, but they do actually do the whole, like, grab you while the allies hit you thing. I played this game up to about this point prior to recording just to make sure, you know, everything went smoothly, recorded nice, and I knew how to play, so I didn't look like a complete idiot. And, like I said, many a dude with a handlebar mustache and a beret. I don't know why. I'm gonna go under the assumption that it was probably intentional for them to do this, but I mean, it's an indie game. You're not going to get a whole lot of character variation. But, like, this encounter has to have been designed this way, so it was nothing but the mustachioed dudes. Because look at them. There's another guy, but I checked him off the train. 6 of them. Maybe it's just one very overactive family. Alright. Now, you could jump down and have some fun with them, or you could do this. If I remember. Okay. Yep. The explosion made the frame rate chug a little bit. But, let's see if any of them do it. Sometimes they will dive off the back of the train to try and get you. But I think, as far as everything goes, I'm just going to be shooting them from the, hanging skull thing up here from on high. And they can deal with it. I would almost feel bad for skipping the encounter like this, but realistically, these guys are kind of tough, and, I mean, the encounter is almost indistinguishable from any other encounter. Okay, good. I didn't toss myself off the platform. The last time I was recording this, I made that mistake several times in a row, and that was stupid, but yeah, so. Oh, Nino. Your portrait makes it look like you've got some nice chops / a walrus beard, but in reality you're just a dude with... I actually kind of wish the enemies were a little bit more ridiculous, like, you know, mutton chops and big long beards and, you know, lumberjacks and stuff. But I guess they're trying to stay semi-topical, even though I really do think this game could, like, a completely silly game under the guise of a very serious tale of revenge and murder and, you know, visceral bloodletting. Because, I mean, this game would be a perfect platform for, like, that kind of so serious it's silly setup. The combat's already kind of that way. You might as well just accept it and move on. Maybe the second game is more like that. Actually, when this game was originally released, Klei was promoting this with a different series that I really haven't heard much of since, but it was called Spank, Death Spank, and they had the Shank and Spank bundle, and then when Shank 2 and Death Spank 2 came out, they marketed them in much the same manner, but as far as I can tell, they have since stopped marketing both, really. I guess that's kind of the slow death of many indie games. Once they've received a moderate amount of support, and honestly, I guess have gotten humble bundled, you really don't hear of them ever again. Which is disappointing, because, like, 2, 3, 4 years from now, nobody's really even gonna know about this game, much less, like, Braid. Who's heard of Braid in the past, I don't know, 3, 4 years? I know I haven't. That hurt. Which, I mean, is disappointing. Back when I played Braid, what, 4 years ago, I thought it was, like, the best game ever, and it's actually kind of what got me into indie games to begin with. That and World of Goo. Though, I would almost say World of Goo was an indie game before indie games were really a thing, but I know that's false. I know there are plenty of games. Super Meat Boy must have been pretty much completed at that point, unless I've got my time frame completely messed up. But if I believe right, Braid was kind of the beginning of it, though I guess World of Goo set the standard for especially the, like, Humble Bundle style of gameplay. Well, gameplay. Game sale. Most people are used to were used to the AAA, you know, big expensive titles, so a game company coming through and being like, yeah, you know, pay whatever you want, definitely was something special. Though I think it did end up putting 2D Boy out of business. But I think after continued sales, and I don't know if they, after the first Humble Bundle or so, they were still involved in the process. But I'm fairly certain they did fairly well for themselves, though I don't believe at this point, I don't think their Little Inferno game did as well as they had hoped. I have it sitting installed on my computer, actually, and I'm just kind of waiting for a rainy day to play it, essentially. Ow, that hurt me more than I wanted it to. But, no, I think that game had kind of the same World of Goo charm, but at that point people were so used to a lot of more even inventive / like, right, you can also float while shooting your guns in this game. I didn't showcase that earlier, but it's really silly. You can kind of just float on top of people as you rain bullets down on their faces. But yeah, I think Little Inferno did okay. Not saying that it even got bad reviews. I think it got perfectly fine reviews. I just think the reaction to Little Inferno is a lot more meh than pretty much World of Goos, which I know some people have been kind of bleh about it, but that's just because they weren't puzzle people. And these mustachioed folks are really, really sticking it to me. And by sticking it, I mean sticking it in me. Okay, that sounded dirtier than I wanted it to sound. But we'll go with it. Ow. Well, that's one way to go out. I guess I'm back to full health, though. Which is really nice. I would hate to start at the checkpoint with the same amount of health I had when I went into... Well, that was just embarrassing. But yeah. So, I don't know. I will be playing Little Inferno probably within the next month or so. Kind of depends on how things go. I do kind of wish this game had a double jump, but not so overwhelmingly that it's necessary. It would just be kind of nice to be able to, like, double jump on top of people's heads. Wow. Dick. See if I can... That worked. Yeah. But, no. I think one of the things I'm definitely going to dedicate this channel to is indie games. I like them. Not a lot of people play or appreciate them. Like, you see everybody playing Amnesia, which is one of those indie games that definitely got popularized. Though, I'm not sure if that was more of a factor of the game's quality or a factor of people like PewDiePie. Which, I mean, props for him for making the game super popular. We need more, you know, cool, inventive, and honestly horrifying indie games. But it does also kind of make it that if you've got a big famous person like PewDiePie, no one else can really play Amnesia at this point and still stand out as an interesting person. Because, well, he did it, and nobody else is really going to give a damn anymore. I know that's a little bit of a facetious thing, and I don't even really care for his stuff. but you do definitely get a lot of the viewership lost on titles that aren't seen as unique. Boss battle. I was kind of hoping for a Final Fantasy VI style boss battle where you actually have to fight the train, or, I mean, I guess Metal Slug is kind of the same manner. But pretty much this one is chuck grenades at the APV, watch out for their grenades, kill the guy above who will be hucking grenades at you, rinse, repeat until they're dead. Though I find shooting them with your guns is pretty effective, except for does kind of make you vulnerable to the whole grenade thing they're doing. Also, they shoot rockets. And technique-wise, if you jump while throwing the grenade will fly substantially farther. Walked right into that one. Also, they can kill their own men, which is, I would say, useful, but realistically, more often than not, the men here are just to distract you so you get hit by the grenades. Also, I think, yeah, I can actually get hit by grenades. Well, I can shoot grenades out of the air, which I appreciate. Of course. How? Okay. Let's get me some more grenades here, and let's finish this guy off. Kind of wish some of these dudes dropped juice for me to imbibe. Oh boy. I don't know if this area is a safe area. I don't want to say it is, but maybe it is. I'm just going to hide back here and hope for the best. Nope. It's not a safe area, but they do seem to... Ow. Well, that's the end of me. But let's start that again with full health and go from there. It does also make it easier to kill the enemies because they get picked off by the grenades, though I don't think that's working as well for me. I'll just stick to the obvious plan and hit them with grenades like more or less they're telling me to. You can also chuck them from higher if you're up on top of the train, though it does make you more vulnerable to the rockets. But that's kind of only a matter of... Wow, I didn't even have a chance there. I noticed it does take a little while for the rockets to show up, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, so... Yeah, I was kind of hoping this boss battle would be something a little bit more Metal Sluggy. This game definitely feels like it should play a little bit more like Metal Slug. But I guess it's more of a 2D hack and slash than a... I don't even know what you would call Metal Slug. Side-scrolling shooter mayhem game? Genius. That's what I would call it. I think they're actually even still making Metal Slug games, but since the sprite art is so detailed, essentially, you can't expect them to create a game, you know, every year like most AAA companies. But, yes. Obligatory explosions and... It just run to the side, come on. Yeah. But you can't really expect the Metal Slug people to release a game every year. I think it takes them upwards of 3 to 4 years to create a game. Which, I mean, if you've ever done sprite art, you can get kind of a respect for what they do. It's a lot of work. But, man, I could use a modern Metal Slug nowadays. Oh, flashback sequence. Also, this guy's fatter. And I don't remember this level. Also, I thought I had a shotgun at this point. Oh, I do have a shotgun. I don't remember getting a shotgun. But yeah, the shotgun is much more knockbacky. You can't rapid fire it, but it's much more effective at knocking back those big heavy guys. Oh, speaking of, I'm supposed to cut things between, well, every time I finish a level on a boss. I'm supposed to switch to... Well, let's kill these guys, and then I'll call it the end of the episode, right? Yeah. Also, things seem to be kind of ramping up in difficulty. The enemies tend to carry more guns and tend to be a little bit more aggressive with their tactics, so you'll have one guy knocking you down, one guy shooting you, and a dog. Screw dogs. Though, pleasantly, shotgun shoots pretty fast. Alright, well, we will continue this on the next episode of Wanderbots. See you then!